Alright everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome along back to the Animal Anomalies podcast with your host, Wildlife with Cookie. Over to my left, we've dragged this one back once again. It is...
Rachel.
Whee, she's back. Over to the other side of me is...
It's John, but just for context, we've done 2 opens now.
Why would you say that? No.
Because you had the wrong screen up.
Don't do that.
But at first you said that Rachel was back from the grave, and then you said dragged back.
Wow.
Why are you being so uncharming?
Look what the cat dragged in. Rachel from season 1. There we go.
This is sibling love. Yeah, back from season 1, back from by popular demand. Anything
popular
other
demand,
than dragged back
popular
from
demand.
the grave.
I am
Popular demand.
I can't help it. I am
Honestly,
popular.
absolutely mental when you think about it, because I think...
What do you mean mental if you think about it? Here we go again. What's going on?
No, what I'm trying to say is, like, you haven't been in since podcast the first season.
Mm.
Every single podcast since then, someone has gone, "Where's Rachel? Where's Rachel?" It would be good if Rachel was there.
And normally they ask, "Where's Forrest?" By the way, Forrest won't be in this one either.
Forrest is not in this podcast.
Yeah, this is not. There's loads of other ones with Forrest. If you're looking for Forrest, not that I should encourage people to go click off or
Where's
listen
Forrest?
away. Where is he? I have no idea. Where's Forrest?
You're back then.
I am back.
One time only, or...
It depends if you have me back again.
Well, we'll see how this goes. Should we put Rachel on probation, John?
I thought I was still on probation.
Nah, John, you've passed yours. I told you were part-time last week. John's full-time this
Does that mean I get paid?
Well, we'll talk about that another time. off the podcast, all right?
What?
So, you're back. How you been?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh, right, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, what you been up to? Anything?
Just this, that.
Yeah, this and that.
Working.
This and that. 6 months. This and that.
This and that. Is that how long it's been? 6 months?
We
I don't
last
know, I
recorded
just
one of
made it.
these in March. It's October.
Well, I've had my birthday since then. So, that's about it.
Yeah.
Right, good. Is that it then, yeah? Just been working hardly working?
That's the one.
Yeah, which one?
Second.
Hardly working. Thought so. Well, we're good. It's nice to have you back on the podcast. Everyone's going to be really happy, I think, because, like I say, there's been loads of people asking, where are ya? As it goes, Rachel's producing today. It was thrust upon her. What? It was thrust upon her a few minutes before coming into the studio. Once again, doing my old magic, you know it is. Lure them in. You're on producer duty.
Any opportunity you have to fob off that duty.
Hey,
and
it's
it was Jacob at first, and he was looking panicked, and you did the exact same thing to your sister today.
Well,
it's outrageous.
I did do it a couple of times in the last one, and I was appalling at it, so I don't know why you've given it to me again.
Well, we've upgraded it since then as well, and we had a little trial run through a couple of minutes before the podcast, and it's gone terribly.
Yeah.
So this might be awful for things we need to look at. But has anyone been up to anything in the last couple of weeks? John, have you done anything?
Got big old hedgehog news.
Yeah.
Well, not really hedgehog news.
Go on.
First of all, hedgehog in our garden, which is very exciting.
Oh, yeah.
But my mother-in-law came over, and she told me she'd never seen a hedgehog in her entire life.
What? Never ever.
Yeah, she's in her 50s. I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry, Lucy.
40s.
Yeah, 40. She doesn't look at over 30. But and I was like, surely you have seen a hedgehog. So we took her for a walk around
the dead one.
Well, dead ones. She's seen dead ones, but
yeah, squished ones on the road.
But I took her for a little walk around my village and showed her 5, and she was amazed because our village is full of them.
No, you're gonna have to take me as well because we don't see them much.
A little hedgehog walk.
You don't. You've not what?
Yeah, John, you start charging. Get people coming out looking for the hedgehog.
Do one after. We've got the black squirrel in our village as well, so I think we could do a proper.
Squirrel.
Yeah,
God,
black
there's
squirrel.
so much things.
Yeah, jet black as well.
I've got Animal Anomalies tour around your way.
Yeah, hedgehogs are not animal anomalies though. I feel
they're becoming that.
Not
they're
my
having a
village.
bad time.
Not in my village. They're in my garden, mate.
Everywhere for
so,
you.
So big hedgehog news for me. What about yourself? What have you been up to?
Do you know what? I've not been up to a lot, but something exciting / scary did happen to me. Before we get into it though, this podcast is sponsored by MPB. MPB is the largest global platform to buy, sell and trade used photography and videography equipment. It is a fantastic platform which you can find yourself some DSLR cameras, some drones, some action cameras, whatever you need to go and be creative, MPB will have it there just for you. Get yourself over to MPB. But anyway, back to the podcast. Nottingham Trent University.
Oh.
So as this podcast goes out, it's the day after, right? Nottingham Trent University emailed me, got in touch with me, and they were like, "Oh, love what you're about. Can you come and do a talk for our students?"
Do you know what?
That's
when I was
outrageous.
just getting my coffee, I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if it was supposed to be today.
No, it's
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Just blast this out.
Yes, it is.
Oh snap! I gotta go. No, so it's the day after the day before the podcast comes out. So the Monday, the podcast comes out on Tuesday. It's the day before, so I can talk about it now. And
so if people are watching this in the live, because when we put these up, there's usually a premiere and there's people live chatting in the premiere. So if people are watching it there and you're in the chat, you can let them know now if it went well or not.
Yeah, or I could save it for the next podcast. We'll see.
Okay, that's true.
I might, I don't know, I'm really nervous. It's the first thing I've ever done like that. And uni students as well, who are all studying animals, like animal management, zoology, all that sort of stuff. Here I come, without any of those sorts of qualifications, being like, hello, I can make money doing this, and that's what they want to know. They're like,
yeah, it is an absolute joke. What counts for what those students are paying for and what they're getting.
You did BTEC GCSEs. And
Why would you do that?
Students.
Yeah. So I'm a BTEC merchant.
There's nothing wrong with BTEC, but you've got but he is a BTEC merchant.
Yeah, but I'm actually.
What are you going to talk about?
What? So I'm actually I don't know. So
I'm glad to see you preparing then.
Yeah, I've done some interesting things, right? So I will try and talk about wallabies in the UK, and the animal anomalies is definitely the thing I'll talk about, and obviously the podcast we'll talk about that as well. I'll say about the hosts and how good they are, and
you don't have to lie.
There are a few things, but I'm just really nervous about it. Public speaking is not something I'm good at. This is all right, this setup, because you're two people I know. Do you know what I mean?
And also, when you mess up, you can just redo it like you did at the intro.
Do you want to do that bit again?
No, I just said what I meant, and I meant what I said.
But you are right. You can just stop it and go again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas there, you make a mistake like that, and you just got to go through it. Do you know
I
what
feel
I'm
like you just have to laugh through it, though.
yeah.
I think you're going to be fine. Go, yeah.
You'll be sound.
You reckon?
Just let them know that you just don't know what you do.
Cheers for the vote of confidence. I really appreciate it.
You'll be fine.
Well, I hope so. Anyway, the next podcast you'll hear about how that went, and if it was a raving success or an absolute shambolic appearance. So we'll see. Should be all right though.
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah,
we'll see. Also, we've got to push it. Spotify. We're on Spotify.
Yeah, well remembered.
Tell us about that.
This podcast is on Spotify. That's all there is to know, isn't there?
That was really good.
Go onto Spotify, look up Animal Anomalies, listen to the podcast, and give it a rating. 5 stars preferably.
Definitely. What do you mean?
Well, are you putting in a 5-star performance right now?
Absolutely.
Well, then give it a 5-star performance. I think we've got 10 reviews on there.
Yeah, something like that.
We want 1,000. No,
Jesus.
No. If we could double it. 20 reviews?
20 reviews.
That doesn't seem outrageous,
no,
does it?
No, it doesn't, does it? No, let's go for 20, I'd say. Rach, what are you saying? 20?
I was going to say 50, but yeah,
50?
20 sounds great.
50?
If there's 20 by the time we do the next podcast, what will you do?
Oh, don't do that to me. What do you want me to do?
I don't know.
No, we'll just leave that one, yeah? Just pretend that never was said. So, yeah, Spotify. Do you know what? We got absolutely royally mugged off, right? By
Go on.
Kyle, the producer. So, last time on the pod, we said, go on Spotify, get on there, audio and video, right? Because the one before was video.
Yeah.
What did Kyle do? Didn't put the video on.
So you're blaming this someone else? There's breakdown in communication. It's someone else's fault.
It's always somebody else's.
It's always somebody else's fault. What's going on?
It's Kyle's fault. Kyle fully mugged us off, John. I don't know why you're not up in arms about it.
Come on, Carl.
Is that it?
I've never spoken to the fella. You do the communication.
He's a nice guy. He just made us look silly because I was like, yeah, we're on video, Spotify, mad. I go and click on it and I'm like, where's the video?
So there may be video in the next one.
Yeah, you never know. It's hit or miss, week by week.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying... Whoops. Guys, if you like the Wild Times, check us out on Patreon. We put out 4 extra podcasts per month.
That's one commute a week that you're just going to be laughing and learning the whole time in the car. Hey, let me do something else. This is the late night content, the stuff that we can't show on YouTube because they'll kick us off YouTube.
It's the Cinemax of podcasts. Uncensored, raw dog. It's the Cinemax of podcasts. Check it out. Link right here.
So anyway, that's the intro. Sorted, done, dusted. This used to be your segment, but we've palmed you off. We've got something better. John, have you got a jingle?
Right, so as you know, I've been doing jingles for the news every week.
Yeah.
And the production quality has been going up and up and up.
You hear that?
I sort of started, really getting sort of experimental with these sounds. I've got one today.
You have a new one?
I think it's my best one yet. It's also my shortest.
Oh my god, is it like
but I think it's the best one.
Hold on, Rachel doesn't watch the podcast. That's
I was about to
outrageous.
say this is outrageous.
Check this out, Rach.
You ready?
Go on, John. Hit us with it. Hit us with it, John.
It's the news.
Auto
The
cue.
news.
Oh.
It's the news. The news.
Yeah, I thought I'd channel my inner T-Pain.
That was so good.
Thank you very much.
I do think that was your best, actually.
I think that was my best.
Yeah, it was nice. It was short. It sounded good. To the point. That's what I liked about it. Rach, what would you say?
Well, that completely puts mine to shame.
Oh,
I made
absolutely.
mine up on the spot.
Like, this is high production stuff right now.
Oh.
But John, that was fantastic.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Go on then. Hit us with the.
Well, I decided I'm going to gamify this a little bit.
Yeah.
By the way, he does that every time.
Yeah, well, I feel like we're kicking off. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're buckling in for it. That's why I do it.
Every time.
Yeah, go
so
on.
unprofessional.
Sorry, go on.
Right, I decided I'm going to gamify it because you know me, I like a game on this podcast.
You told me there wasn't going to be a game
It's
today.
kind of a game. It's a news-based game. So basically, I'm going to start a news story, and then I'm going to give you 3 potential options for the outcome, and then you have to guess what the news story is.
Guess the news. There we go. Go on,
It's just the news. It's just it's stepping on my jingle game here.
Go on, let's hit me with the newses.
So, Japan has a problem that we don't struggle with in the UK. They have a problem with bears. This isn't a problem that we struggle with. Big problem in Japan.
Yeah.
According to authorities over there, bear attacks are going up by an alarming rate.
Really?
In urban areas. Now, the main reason appears to be the decline of like rural farms, which used to be like sort of a natural barrier between the hills and the cities, but without that sort of natural barrier, they're encroaching into the urban areas. And apparently, in 2021, there was 10 injuries and 4 deaths recorded as a result of bear attacks in Hokkaido alone. And there's been over 150 bear attacks in the last 6 years.
Oh, that's mad. That's quite a lot, isn't it?
That's
150.
It's a big bear problem.
Big bear problem, isn't
Big
it?
bear problem.
Yeah.
So, Japan have come up with a novel way of dealing with this particular problem.
The American way.
No, it's not the
Shoot
American way.
No, sorry.
So, which of the following 3 do you think authorities in Japan are turning to try and get rid of bears?
Okay, here we go.
Are they using people dressed up as bears to scare away the bears?
Oh, no, it might be that.
Are they playing Metallica in bear hotspots, so in areas that are particularly affected by bear attacks? Or are they using robot wolves?
Do you know what? You've made 2 of those up?
2 of these I've made up.
You've made them up.
They're good answers, to be fair.
All 3 of them are very solid choices.
That's the game.
So what was the first one? It was...
So they're using people dressed up as bears to scare away bears. The idea being that bears are quite territorial.
So they do that with pandas, innit?
Bit different though.
In zoos and that. So, and then the second one was to play Metallica. So imagine like Enter Sandman.
In
like,
bear hotspots. Apparently something to do specifically with Metallica.
Yeah, like Master of Puppets and all that. Blasting away. The Day That Never Comes and all
Look
that.
at me, I know Metallica songs.
What was the last one?
Robot wolves.
Robot. Do you know what? I'm leaning towards that.
Yeah, I think it's
Are you?
that.
Yeah, go on it.
I feel like they're quite high tech, aren't they? So I feel like
robot everything, innit?
Yeah, so I feel like that's just easy.
Yeah, so
you don't have to do anything with them.
I think that the in the costumes is a bad idea, and I think you've seen that from the pandas in the zoo. And I would say the Metallica one. I don't know where you've come up with that. And is that real? Would that be real? No, it can't be real. That can't be real. I think you would have seen Stranger Things and that came to your head. And then the last one, I
haven't seen Stranger Things. That's going to get people annoyed. I've not seen it.
That's mental, that is.
Neither have I,
So are we going for the third one? You haven't either?
No. Yeah, I would go for the wolves.
Yeah, robot wolves.
Authorities are using mechanical wolves.
Knew it. Knew it.
So they were originally designed to keep bears away from farms, and they're now being used to stop bears attacking people in urban areas. Now, you need to look this up, okay, Rachel? This is a big one.
Produce it.
Look up the monster wolf, okay? It was first used in... I'm going to get a lot of my pronunciations during this bit wrong, but it's Takakawa City in 2020.
Smashed it.
And then since then, lots of local governments have started ordering them. And whilst we're doing this... I know I keep bringing it back to this with most of our news stories, but I talked about how the farms were acting as natural barriers, but they were also blaming global warming potentially, or climate change, I should say, for this, because there's been a lot of bad harvests recently. So that's another thing that's leading to bears going closer to cities on the search for food, because the crops over the last few years have not been as good as they would normally be.
So this has obviously been successful then, and more places want to do it.
Yeah, but when you called it high tech, I think you really need to see this thing, because
of it and it's actually terrifying.
Is it actually? Right, get us, produce it, Rach. Come on, get us on the stream.
Trying my best.
We're ready for this.
There it is.
That is awful. Look at the state of that thing. Right, Rachel.
lost my mouth.
Come on,
Go on, you can make it a big screen.
Look at that. That is actually horrifying, isn't it? So I assume that just like does a bit of movements and that.
Yeah, and anyone who's just looking at this audio, it's basically it's like a pommel horse which has been covered in fur and like put on some scaffolding, and they've painted its eyes red.
That's horrific.
It's like a Halloween mask, isn't it?
It's like a Halloween decoration.
That is
how it works. I've no idea, but it is working.
Well, it looks like to me it's got mechanical legs, so it would like move its body and like move its legs. It's not going to move around by the look of things, but it's going to sort of like just have a bit of movement to put off any sort of bears coming into that area, right?
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's weird as that. That's proper strange. It is scary looking. That would scare a lot of things away.
But they should probably try the Metallica thing. I don't know. It might work.
Yeah, well, just have one of them and put a speaker on it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's good. I've got another one for you.
Yeah.
If you or someone you love has diabetes, you might be familiar with it, but one of the big problems with diabetes is foot ulcers. Are you aware of this?
No? What's this?
So basically, you can get infections, and sometimes if you don't respond to antibiotics, it can lead to amputation because these infections can be so bad.
I have actually heard of that. Yeah. The amputations anyway.
So the researchers at the University of Sheffield may have found their answer in Yorkshire Wildlife Park. Have you been to Yorkshire Wildlife Park?
I haven't, but they've got polar bears.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting that you've said that.
It is. Oh, okay.
So this research is super important as it can be used to fight the pressing medical challenge of drug-resistant superbugs. You know, so this is good. So what do you think they are studying at Yorkshire Wildlife Park that might be an answer to these foot ulcer infections? Are they studying cat piss? It actually said leopard urine, but I think cat piss
sounds
funnier. Lemur poop. Once again, they said feces. Or polar bear saliva.
Right. What?
Well, I'm going to say, because you were so excited that James said there was polar bears there, I'm going to say it's the last one.
Right.
Or was I bluffing?
Well, now you've said that.
The saliva thing to me would make sense because, you know, like, it's supposed to be, I can't remember the word, but it's a natural it's a natural healing thing, isn't it, saliva? So, like, you know, like, when animals, like, lick themselves, it's to, like, speed up the healing process of something. So, like, if we had a little cut or graze, we would, like, lick it, saliva would help it sort of heal. So I think that's a good show, actually, but based on logic, not
So
vibes.
you both said the wolf thing, and you've both said this, so we're going to have to split you up at some point, but we'll leave it at this one.
Why?
We'll leave it at this one.
Mine's on logic based.
But the answer is lemur poop. I looked up what animals they had there, and I knew they had a polar bear, so I just typed in polar bear saliva. Got him.
See, mine was facts and logic as well, but...
So instead of using antibiotics to treat infections, you can do something called phage therapy, which it uses a virus called phages, and they hijack certain bacterial cells and destroy them. So instead of using antibiotics, and phages can be found in animal poop, and the University of Sheffield have isolated phages from the feces of guinea baboons, lemurs, giraffes, loads of animals. And they think that the answer to this infection might be there. In fact, I've got a quote from Graham Stafford. You've been waiting to hear from Graham, haven't you?
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah, he's a leading microbiologist on this programme and has said in a statement that, despite the smell, it turns out that fecal matter of endangered species could hold the key to killing infectious bacteria that are otherwise resistant to antibiotics. And he carries on to say that it provides an ever stronger reason to conserve endangered animals. The biodiversity they harbour potentially includes new cures for a range of infections and diseases, infectious diseases, and we believe this to be the tip of the iceberg in this area. So big up Graham Stafford and big up the lemur poop.
Yeah, well done, Graham Stafford and the lemurs for having a dump in that.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting, actually. I like that one.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah, I like how you come in with like fact-based stuff here this time. It's like it's quite interesting.
It's always fact-based. What are you on about?
No, but it's interesting, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
Like, what are you trying to say about the other 3 podcasts where I've done the news? Come on.
No, but this
Get out with it.
This feels more educational. Like, this
You
is
actually
good.
do research, whereas when I did this, I didn't.
Rachel would come with the fact and go, I don't know anything else about it. Like, that's it. Like, you give us the knowledge.
This next one is a little bit dafter, though.
Yeah, go on then. Let's have the dafty.
Right. Have you heard about this one? Let me take you to... Have you heard of Gatorland?
Is it Chris Gillette? No, am I... Is it in UK?
No.
Is it...
Where would Gatorland be?
It's Florida.
It's near Orlando in Florida. It's in Florida.
I'm pretty sure the guy who owns it is called Chris Gillette.
The best a man can get.
Do the Americans have that?
I've no idea.
Well, it's, yeah, shaving advert and that, innit? Go on.
So, the rescuers bought a bedraggled alligator. Bedraggled is the word that I said on an online article, and I kept it. I quite like that. To the theme park. But what feature was unusual about this alligator? Now, I'm going to give you a hint here before I give you this, because they used... after you hear these, you'll then know... Right, okay, let me explain. So there is a Dolly Parton inspired nickname that has been attributed to this animal. Okay. So what was the unique feature? Did it have no jaw? Did it have no tail? Or was it bright yellow?
No jaw, no tail, bright yellow.
Why is
I was
it
thinking
compared to Dolly Parton then?
Jolene. Did she do Jolene?
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Take my man. Like, I don't know. That's all I'm thinking. That's what's coming to my head.
Bright yellow because hasn't she got like yellowy hair? Sorry.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Has it got a
yellowy
big
hair? we get told off enough for being British, but just dropping that H just didn't exist then.
Yellow hair.
Yellow hair.
What was the other two again, John?
It had no tail and it was bright yellow.
Right.
And it's a Dolly Parton inspired name.
It's got to be the yellow, isn't it? I think you might be right.
Don't take my idea again.
So have you've said yellow, right?
I've said it. I'm claiming that one. You can pick another one.
Oh. What was the other one?
It has no jaw, or it has no tail.
No jaw. All right, I'm going no jaw. No jaw for me. You're going yellow. No jaw. What is it, John?
Cookie has pulled into the lead. You actually got it. It was Jolene, but they've called it Jolene.
Yeah. I like that.
I've got a couple of others. I think if you were going for Dolly Parton songs, you could have gone for "I Will Always Not Chew" instead of "Love You." If it had no eyes, it could be "Eyeless in the Stream" rather than "Islands in the Stream." And if it had no legs, it could be Bobby Parton.
Oh, big one.
But you should look this up. So it had its snout ripped off and its tongue can be seen. And they think it was probably caught in a hunting snare, but it's got no top jaw. It's actually kind of remarkable. So
that's weird.
Jawline, just jaw. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that was my logic when I was trying to think of, like, out of those three. It would, like, obviously the songs were in my head, and then I was like, well, what would be the most weirdest thing to have for the gator? And I was like, well, I've never seen a crocodile or, like, alligator with no jaw, so that seemed a bit weird.
I quite like it. Jawline. We missed a Jawline there, but it's fine.
Right, we're trying to fill in here, Rach. Can you...
I'm riffing so hard.
Honestly, we did really...
Do I need to sing again?
Yeah, Jolene. Jolene. Yeah, there we go. It's right,
look at poor little Jolene.
Oh, mate, that's hideous, isn't it? Look at that.
God, you see how fast that was?
Yeah, that's wicked, Rach. Well done.
We said it, and moments later...
Look at
No
it.
time at all.
That's really weird, isn't it? So how does it eat? Does it just get like?
I guess they just feed it,
spoon-fed?
basically.
Yeah.
Apparently it was
Smoothies.
quite healthy otherwise, but obviously it wouldn't have survived in the wild like that.
No,
so,
absolutely no chance. That's really quite a strange
and they
looking
think
thing,
it
isn't
was
it?
probably caught in a hunting snare, but they're not sure.
Oh, that's
Isn't it
really
weird though?
sad.
So if you like take out that bit of the rest of its jaw, looks like a frog.
Do you know what? I can that sounds mental, but I can see what she means.
Amphibian.
It's a
Very different.
reptile, isn't it?
It's a reptile, but
Yeah, it's a reptile.
It's a reptile, yeah,
It's a
whatever.
reptile.
Can you not see it?
Do you know? Yeah, if you took off that lower half, if you took off the lower jaw and rounded it,
Frog.
it does. I do. It's mental, but I do know what you're saying. Yeah,
So, Cookie's in the lead.
smashed it.
Got one more though.
Yeah, go on in. Hit
So
us
you
with
can
that
either
one.
level it up.
Take away that hideous
Hold on.
crocodile,
I
disgusting looking
can't
thing.
Concentrate on where I'm-
Go on then, John. What have we got?
So, as we all know, methane produced by cows is an area in which scientists have said we should try and look in for helping control climate change. Sweden has taken some serious steps to reduce methane produced by cattle, but what method are they using?
What is it? What is it?
Are they feeding the cows seaweed? Are they massaging the stomach of the cows at regular intervals throughout the day? That was easy for me to say, wasn't it?
You smashed
Are
it.
they massaging the stomachs of cows at regular intervals throughout the day? Or are they playing Metallica to the cows?
Oh, what? Metallica again?
I'm really sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sweden are taking some steps into reducing the amount of methane that cows produce or cattle produce, but which one are they going for? Are they feeding them seaweed? Are they massaging the stomachs of cows at regular intervals fucking hell, throughout the day and playing Metallica to cows?
Right. There's not a lot to go off for this one, is there? This is quite difficult, Rach. So the seaweed one, that's the one that came that's the one that struck a chord with my brain cells. That's the one that I thought, is there some science-based facts there? Because doesn't seaweed and kelp and all that sort of stuff, I think it stores a lot of carbon dioxide. So I don't know if it's...
He did this with saliva though, so let's see.
Yeah, that's where my brain's going. I'm going towards seaweed. What are you thinking?
Well, I was thinking seaweed because I feel like I've seen this before.
Oh, is that right, John?
Well, if you go with seaweed, I will just say, even if you're both right or both wrong, you'll definitely lose.
Do you just want? do you think you're right though?
Well, no, I'll go for the middle one just to be different.
All right,
Can't copy you.
was it actually seaweed?
It was seaweed.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have gone against it.
You've seen it then?
Seaweed, red algae, has been added to cow feed, and it's suggested it can reduce methane by meat animals by up to 90%. But that's
man.
according to the manufacturer, so it's probably less than that. But still,
70%.
madness.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And that was the news.
The news. Do you want to do the jingle again?
Do you want me to do the jingle again? Hang on,
you
I'm
don't-
not even ready for
You
it.
don't have to. I just
It's the news. The news.
the news.
It's the news.
The news.
I reckon you should keep that one. That one's easily your best. And I'm bopping along to that, thinking this is good. I could listen to that. You could make that a full song, and I'd listen to that.
I've got a full song of me just saying the news over and over.
Yeah. Well, should we just make that our intro, and that would be it?
Well,
Just
no,
the
I
news.
want to change it up every week.
Every week.
Yeah, it's going to be a metal one.
But
Next
I really.
week.
Oh, is
it's
it?
not. It's not. I don't-
Fecal plug.
Yeah,
That was really good. I like that one.
the
Thanks.
fecal plug.
Yeah. Well, that was the news then by John. Now, don't forget the sponsor of this podcast is MPB, the largest global platform where you can buy, sell, and trade used photography and videography equipment. Whatever suits your need, get over to mpb.com. Sort yourself a deal.
Hey, Brosters, thank you for being loyal subscribers. We appreciate everything that you do. And now we have a membership offer for you.
I think you can get ad-free episodes, I heard.
That's pretty big.
Ad-free's big, but you can also get your comments looked at so we don't have to sift through the millions.
How do you do that?
There.
Is there some sort of badge system?
There's a badge system, a loyalty badge. Boom. Shows up next to your name in the comments. Boom. We read the comment.
All this badge talks make I'm going to the badge store.
He's going to
You're
get
a
a badge.
badger.
He's gonna buy one. Didn't earn it. He's gonna buy one.
He did a fake leave.
I assumed Kyle would know to cut
Embarrassing.
on the motion.
All right, let's cut now. That's our ad.
Guess the animal noise.
I know you didn't need anything for that either. You just went for it.
I did.
Yeah, no one prompted you then. You were like, oh, this is my moment. I'm going to start singing.
Surprised me a bit, you know?
You're welcome.
Right, so Rachel's got the animal noise. She's going to play it. Apparently, when I asked her to do this, she said, I've got a backlog of them ready to go.
Right, so this is because when I last did this, the last time that you allowed me to do this, I had multiple animals because you told me to have multiple, and then you only let me play one.
Right.
So then they were in my archives. Yeah.
In the archives then, John?
They were still on my tabs on my internet, and I refused to get rid of them until I'd used them.
Okay, so we've got an animal noise played by Rachel. This is an animal from the UK, or is non-native in the UK.
I'm going to struggle at this so bad. I just said earlier that that alligator was an amphibian. This is going to be this is going to be hard work.
I didn't give you enough. I didn't give you enough for like belting for that because that was. I
just said the wrong word, but even so, I'm not going to do well at this.
I don't know because last time he did it, smashed it straight away. First one.
Did you also just say that this had to be from the UK?
Yeah.
Ah.
What do you mean?
I didn't get that memo.
What do you mean? That's the whole point of it.
No, I've got two, and neither of them are from the UK.
What do you mean? Do they live in the UK?
Nope.
Oh, Rach, that's the whole point. What do you think we did in the whole first season?
Yeah.
You just yeah.
Right, animal anomalies noise abroad. Here we go. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll play the abroad. Right, any animal in the world then. This could be. I hope it's easy. Flipping heck, Rach.
Just waiting for it to load. So give
oh
me
my god.
2 seconds.
The producing on this episode, the best, the worst.
Just keep vamping. Just keep waffling. Just keep filling.
To. Like, what is this?
Neither of these are opening.
What were you doing while we were talking? Like, why is this not ready? John, what do we do?
Sorry,
what do we talk about? Flipping heck.
Maybe you should try and do the noise, and we'll guess it from you doing the noise.
Go on then.
No, I don't know. Can you do it? Do you think you can do it?
What?
You're not going to like bark or anything, are you? What you do? Right, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
Right, let me just tell my sound. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready. Go on. Was that it?
Can I hear it again?
Yeah, can we have that again? Like, well, it's got to be a pig, isn't it?
It sounds piggy.
It's got to be piggy, yeah.
But then she said it wasn't in the UK. We have pigs here.
We do have.
I mean, it probably somewhere might live in like
the forest,
zoo,
the forest of Dean.
But it's not a wild animal in the UK.
Definite.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, so that makes me think. I'm gonna go a little further, and I'm gonna say a warthog.
I think you're right.
Would you like me to play it again?
Yeah, go on. Rachel loves warthogs. I think you're right.
Stop copying me. Alright?
I think he's right.
Alright. Grow up and come up with your own answer.
Just take his answer. Is it a yes or a no?
No.
Oh.
No, but you said it as well, so you can't now have a guess now that you know it's not. You can't be like, oh, now I know it's not. I'm going to have a guess.
But isn't that the game?
No.
Oh. Peccary.
What's that?
Oh, it's not that then, is it? Right, peccary's like a pig sort of thing, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's not one of them.
I know what it is.
Is it a kangaroo?
What? What are you looking at him like that for?
Sorry, I just lost focus. No, it's not.
Did you see that look she gave you? She gave you a look of like, are you an actual imbecile?
Are you a moron? No, it's not a kangaroo, you twat. Sorry.
Play it again, one more time. Actually, can we have a clue? Just a little clue. We're supposed to have clues if we don't get the first one. This is going really well, this game. Clue? Think of anything?
Living trees.
Oh. Living trees.
Some sort of monkey. Some sort of ape.
Because I thought I knew it, and I don't know it now.
I'm going to say...
That's hard, isn't it?
I don't know, some sort of... I don't. I'm going to say a gibbon.
A gibbon?
Is it a gibbon?
What's your answer?
Oh, lemur.
Wrong.
Mine sounded close though by a reaction.
They're both wrong.
Do the funky gibbon. Right,
another clue.
Another clue?
Yeah, please.
They're cute.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't live in trees.
Hey! Living trees and cute makes a noise like that. What? I don't know what.
Sloth?
No.
No,
That's
it's
a
not
good guess,
sloth.
though, but no.
Is it? Good
Well,
guess, was
it
it?
was a good guess. I'm not saying it's near it, but it's a good guess.
Red panda.
Hold on.
Right,
Red panda.
Give me
Red
the final
panda.
answer.
Red panda.
No.
Oh,
What is it then?
Bloody hell. No, hold on. One more clue.
I don't have any more clues.
Come on,
to give
Yeah,
you.
the audience are definitely wanting the answer now.
Clue. I'm going to get it.
Fluffy ears.
Oh, gee. Right, we should have just gone for the answer, innit? Like,
Yeah, no, that was a long time ago.
Fluffy ears, cute, lives in trees.
You want me to play it once more?
Tree kangaroo. No?
Is that a thing?
Oh, okay.
That was
John,
your guess.
John, have you... Let's get this over with.
Let's hear it again.
You were right. Oh, you made it longer.
Is it just something like? Is it doing something like scratching? Are we like thinking of that as like a guttural noise, but it's actually like a chipmunk or something like scratching?
Or like
I'm going to say chipmunk.
chipmunk.
Final answer.
Chipmunk.
No.
Oh,
All
no,
right,
no.
forget it. Should we forget it?
Yeah, well, we have to. Well, you just said it was the
Yeah.
final one. What is it?
It's a koala.
Oh, do you know what? I've heard that as well. So I've actually
Bloody
heard
pissy chlamydia-ridden.
dickheads.
So it's
No, I
literally-
don't mean that, but you know.
It's literally just a video of it sitting on its branch,
Oh, that's actually
making
really
that
good.
horrible noise.
Put that up to that camera. We'll stick it on John.
Hold on.
Stick it up to the
Can you
camera.
see it?
Yeah, play it. There we go. There's the proof. It's a koala. That's so annoying. Yeah, fair
Well,
play,
that's
Rach.
top stuff.
Obviously not in the
Top
UK.
stuff.
I do have another one if you want that
But
one.
no, we're skipping swiftly on. Thank you for that, though. Really appreciate
No
it.
probs.
If you got that in the live chat or if you got that in the comments, well done. Do you know what? Now I've seen it.
I've seen koalas and they've never made any noise.
So I've seen them as well, and one in the wild was making that sort of noise. It sounds like a motorbike when they
Well, in
start
that
doing
case,
it.
you've got no excuse.
I've got no excuse. It's
You're
embarrassing.
rubbish.
Yeah, it was really bad for me. That was.
It's just a matter of time before those students realise how rubbish. you
Yeah,
are.
they're gonna think this guy's an idiot.
Well, I'm
Right.
glad that you both didn't get it, but I'm sorry I didn't get the memo. It had to be in the UK.
I don't know, like, because you said you saved them from the last one, and
Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't realise back then.
Literally, like, that makes me wonder, like, what were you doing? But it doesn't
Well, I
matter. It
forgot.
doesn't matter. We'll move on because we got a big topic. Big topic. We got a big topic.
It's good that we can all say things today,
Oh,
isn't
no,
it?
honestly, we're on form. I
Tripping
reckon.
over our words.
We're on form. So we actually got a question. It was Rach, who was the person? There's a name I've got on there. So a person in the last episode of the podcast commented. Rach, what did they say?
They said, do you think the Megalodon shark is still around, or maybe an undiscovered cousin of his is in the ocean?
Who was the person?
Jose Cervantes, maybe.
Big up, Jose. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, big
up.
Nice one. Appreciate
Jose.
that. So, do you think the Megalodon is still around? And if not, like, do you think there's like a possible cousin of the Megalodon that is still alive today?
No and yes. Carry on. Next. No, I'm joking.
John, I told you about getting clip links.
Right, God, we go drag this out for 8 minutes. Right, let's do this.
So, you are spot on. Well, put it this way. Can you hear that? What have I got?
You cut down some trees, mate. I brought a laptop this week.
No. What have I got?
Paper.
Facts. Right. So the last
fax. Someone faxed that to you.
the last Megalodon, fossil wise, 3.5 million years ago, and then vanished, completely gone. Like they were regular, a lot of them, up until 3.5 million years ago, and then all of a sudden disappeared. None seen since. So based on that alone, you would be like, well, then no, they're not here, are they?
Yes. Well, I said no, didn't I? So
you
crack
did,
on.
yeah. Like, it was very sort of cocksure. He was like, no. So yeah, you're like, I totally agree. What do you think about Megalodon, Rach? Do you think still alive or?
Big fan of them, for one.
Yeah.
He said Megalodon, not Megadon.
And I would say no, but yes.
So I don't actually know where this comes from. I don't know why people think they're still alive. What? Like,
the film, I think, just the Meg.
But even before that,
I don't think people were even talking about it that much before that.
No, they were though, because like cryptozoologists love it.
Yeah, but cryptozoologists also love taking people's money.
Yeah. Well, there is a bit of that, I suppose.
Hey, do you see what I did there?
Yeah. Logan. So, I mean, it's difficult to say. I don't think they're alive today, and I don't think they're... I think if they were,
but we've got to be careful, because there's a very good chance that we're just going to be written off as ignorant and that we should do our reading here. You know that. Yeah. Whenever you talk about these things, you got to be careful.
Facts.
Yeah. Oh no, you do have 2 bits of paper there. Sorry.
So like a little bit of like factual aspect of them. They measured about 10 meters in length, right? Which is big. Don't get me wrong. Basking sharks can be that length. But it does say they could have also been up to 20 to 25 meters in length.
You'd see them.
You would see them.
You'd see them.
They're big old fish.
And you'd see the evidence of them as well on other big old fish.
Yeah, they'd be eating whales all day long.
We've got some crazy things in our water. We've got orcas and killer whales. Why are people not happy with those? You know, we've got crazy things out there already.
We've got blue whales, John.
They're mental. We talked about blue whale penis a lot in the past.
We were all for the blue whales, aren't we?
Yeah.
And the penises.
Yep.
So great whites today, 4 to 5 meters long on average. But the biggest one is actually still alive today. It's called deep blue, and it's about 6 to 7 meters long, which is a massive great white shark.
That's a big old great white.
That's a big old great white shark, right? And that can be found in Mexico, Guadalupe Island, I'm pretty sure. Now, basking sharks, you know I said a minute ago they're like same size roughly as what the Megalodons used to be. You think about that, it's not that big, is it? Like, because in your head you're probably thinking a Megalodon, huge, 50 meters long, absolutely colossal, can't believe how big that was. Not actually that big.
To be fair, if I saw it in the water and I was next to it, I'd do a little pee.
Yeah, I mean, you've had the great white experience.
I have had the great white experience.
And what was that like? That was like...
I didn't pee then, but that's because there was a cage.
But like, that's scary, right? But imagine like the Megalodon would have been double the size, maybe triple the size.
Yeah.
It's quite scary.
Yeah, but they don't exist.
Yeah, they don't exist.
The cryptozoologists are going to be... There'll be people unhappy that we're being ignorant here and just flippant.
How are we being ignorant, though? Because I just... like there
Because
are
we haven't seen what they've seen.
Yeah, I suppose. But I don't think there's any sightings of this.
No.
You know, before coming in here to do the podcast, I actually saw an image on Google. Rachel, you have to get this up. Can you just type in NASA Megalodon satellite? So I saw this. I didn't. Did I show you it?
You didn't show me it. No.
So I saw it and I was trying to trace back like anything about it, and I couldn't. But I want to show you this anyway, just to get like a view.
So hang on, sorry. So when you tried to trace this back, you couldn't find the origin of it.
Well, apparently it's from NASA.
But you couldn't find anywhere to verify that it was from NASA.
Yeah, basically, I couldn't get to like the start of like where this.
So that automatically for me is ringing alarm bells. This just screams of something that's shared on social media, then like TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, so basically, and like it's been taken. This image has been taken and been like thrown about, being like, "Oh my god, the Megalodon is still alive." But
NASA have not said, "Oh, we've released this."
I don't know. I couldn't find it. So like that's where I'm a bit like,
because it just sounds very official, doesn't it? You know, if you say this picture was taken by NASA.
Yeah, so that's the problem. That's the problem. Like I had, I was like, I don't actually know what's going on. I don't know what like, I don't know where this flipping thing is. But basically, there was satellite footage. I can't remember where it was either. This is even worse. But it's like shot down, and you can see in the water this thing that looks like an absolutely massive shark. Rachel, do you have it?
Where is it?
Yeah, but I have just...
There. That. Okay, just leave it there. Perfect. So that thing, it's apparently a satellite image.
But that looks so fake. Like, that just looked like a little shadow. If you gave me 5 minutes, not even in Photoshop, I could make that.
Well, nowadays with the aerogenerative tool, it take you less than a minute.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I bet you could. We shouldn't do it now, but I bet you can like look up that shape and find the origin of it as well.
Possibly, but it was this. You can see in the top left, there's like clouds and stuff. Is this what is this? This is on the Discovery Channel, so like.
Yeah, but even their title says a satellite photo of Megalodon.
It's up there.
Do you think it's possibly just a cloud?
I don't think it. Well, I mean, yes, it's possibly a cloud. It's possibly just some weird.
Oh yeah, from like up here.
Yeah. You can see like those clouds like over the water.
Yeah, because actually there is no shadow from those clouds, which there is of all the other ones.
Yeah, no, that's true. So do you think possibly it's just that then?
I think that whatever it is not a megalodon.
Yeah. That seems to be, from like the research I did, the digging that I did, that seems to be the only thing that I'm
Look at that. That's nonsense. That's so silly.
But I think it's just a cloud.
It's either just a cloud or it's fake.
Yeah.
But you couldn't find any evidence of where it's come from.
No, I couldn't. I really struggled with it. But like when you type in on Google, let's for example say Megalodon sightings, Megalodon evidence, anything like that,
right?
Nothing comes up. There is just nothing. And then you get this. There was also one video which was off the side of like a boat in Canada or something like that, but it's quite clearly a basking shark. So I was like, what? But I don't know. Like I just looked at that and I thought, is this it? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it cloud? I just couldn't verify it. That's all.
I think we got to 8 minutes.
So, what I will say though, there have been teeth that have been found in Tahiti. So there was this ship called the HMS Challenger, found and basically in 1875 in Tahiti, it dredged the bottom. So it dredged a load of area around there, and they brought up loads of like fossils, teeth, all that sort of stuff. And in 1959, they were analysed by I think a scientist, and he tried to like carbon date this thing, I think, which is called manganese dioxide, and he sort of like estimated these teeth were from like 10,000 to 20,000 years ago, which when you've got an animal that's assumed to be extinct from 3.5 million years ago is actually quite exciting, right?
No, that is, but I would also 1959, I just wonder how accurate the carbon dating was back then. Has it been done again since?
Wasn't accurate at all.
Yeah.
So the actual the actual thing he did, this manganese dioxide, from what I read onto, was basically just said it's useless. It's not.
So I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm always willing to listen to compelling evidence. I've just not seen it yet.
So there's maybe one.
Go on.
Maybe one. But this, again, was taken out of context. But the Yeti's
definitely real.
Is it? Sorry, what was that?
The Yeti is definitely real.
So in Australia, there was a great white shark that was eaten. They tagged this shark. It was 9 feet long. They tagged it 4 months later. The tag washed up, but the shark was nowhere to be seen. They got the information back from this tag, and it showed a sudden change in temperature, and then the tag dropped. It plummeted a lot of distance, and they were like, "What
was it eaten, or was it hit by a boat or something?"
No, it was eaten. It was.
How do you know that?
What I've just finished with there before, like when you like spoke, that's when people stop with the evidence and they say Megalodon, right? They say it was eaten by a Megalodon.
But did they see this eaten corpse anywhere?
I don't think they saw that.
Sudden change in temperature. It could have easily just been hit by a boat.
No. So the researchers who actually did this thing, they were like, well, it was eaten, but it was eaten by another great white shark. It was basically what they had deduced from the statistics that this thing showed was this is very similar to how like great whites hunt. What this thing experienced was it being predated by another shark. And that's what they said. But the Megalodon enthusiasts took that information right up until the point of where they confirmed, or like they said the best guess is another great white. They took it and they went Megalodons. So
what I would ask the people who thought that, what I would ask the people who thought it was a Megalodon is a bit of a thought experiment, just to imagine that isn't a possibility. Come up with another explanation,
and you would reach.
And it will probably be that. It will probably be
exactly. And I think this happens with cryptozoology a lot, and like people who go with the conspiracies for animals. I think this happens a lot. It happens a lot with the Thylacine, that's for sure, and we'll get onto that in a minute. But stuff like that, I find, like, you know, when like someone sees like a little sighting of something, and they'll go, "Oh, it's a Thylacine," and it's like, why is your brain gone straight to an extinct animal rather than fox or kangaroo or wallaby? Do you know what I mean?
I think we're just trying to make sense of. I think the honest answer is people are just trying to make sense of what they're seeing, and if they don't understand it, go to the unreasonable explanation.
But Occam's razor, right? Whatever's like the most feasible option, it's got to be.
Oh yeah, and that's the same that I'm saying with the Megalodon here.
For sure. I just don't understand it. Rach, what's your thoughts? Yeah.
Right, next. Thank you, Jose, for sending that in. And if anyone else wants us to discuss anything on the podcast, I really would encourage you to leave a comment or something.
Absolutely, leave a comment, because we'll definitely talk about it. And like some things we'll be like, no, like this, and then there are other things we might have a different.
But that's
opinion.
only our opinion as well. Like I'm not a scientist in this field.
No,
so,
absolutely. Part of his question as well, Jose, was to say about does it have a distant cousin? The most sort of like. What's the word? The most.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
The closest living relative is the short-fin mako shark. We have them. They're actually in the UK. There you go. So there you go. That's it. Pretty interesting.
Right.
Now the next part.
Is it leading on from that?
Yeah. So that got me thinking, because that's obviously an extinct animal. I wanted to talk about the possibility of extinct animals still being alive. Now,
hang on a second. I've just realised what's going on. I want to talk about the Thylacine some more.
What's wrong with that?
I want to talk about the Thylacine. I know stuff about the Thylacine.
What are you doing?
You and Neil Waters, mate.
What? Good old Neil. We'll probably talk about him a little bit, will we?
What, Neil?
Yeah.
Go on then. Well, sure. Why not?
Yeah, we'll do it in a bit. So what I was going to say before I got rudely cut off is based on extinct animals that could be alive, like this. Jose was thinking about the Megalodon.
Yep.
Actually, let's talk about something that could be real. I asked you, John, if you could bring me something, and I asked you, Rachel, if you could try and bring me an animal and put a case forward to could this animal still be alive? Do we want to go for Rachel first?
Big up, Rachel. You'll be a tough act to follow, but I reckon you've got this.
Go on, Rach.
Come on,
so
Rach.
you did this last.
And if you say my one, I'm going to freak out.
So Rachel's going to put forward a case of this animal, and could it still be alive today? Rachel, take it away.
So I've gone for the passenger pigeon.
Oh, do you know what?
Have you got that?
No, but it was one that I looked at.
Well,
so
that's good. Yeah, that's good. That is.
Thank you.
Interesting story. Tell us about it. Some point today would be great. Yeah.
So they haven't been seen in a long time.
Extinct.
They were found across most of North America.
Yeah.
By the Rocky Mountains, Great Plains, the Atlantic coast, blah 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 blah. They were really small, but not like really, really small.
Well, I was worried that this would be too scientific for me to follow, but I'm just about keeping up.
Can you see where we fobbed her off now?
Don't say that. That's your sister.
Oh no! Dangerous. So I was looking at it, and I just kept thinking, surely people are just going to get these mixed up with regular pigeons, because they look like regular pigeons.
How are we? Tell me when to stop.
No matter.
Okay.
Are you sure? Do you know?
What, in height? Oh, I've got that.
No, I was going that way. I'm thinking
right.
Beak to tail.
So the adult male was about 39 to 41 centimetres in length.
That's a good size.
That's big. That's bigger than a pigeon.
Yeah, that's a good size.
Is it? How big's a pigeon?
Probably the same size as a wood pigeon or like a stock dove or something.
Well, they weigh between 260 and 340 grams.
Yeah. What's the case for them still being alive then? What? You can't just shout passenger pigeon and then not put a case forward. What's the case?
So they were hunted. Do you know why they're extinct?
Yeah, they were shot a lot.
They were hunted for food.
Yeah, and they went from like billions to zero within like 50 years or something.
That's a lot of hunting.
Yeah, mate, honestly, they got absolutely decimated. It's quite sad. So what's the case for them still being alive?
So it's my case, not a factual case.
That pigeons look a bit like them. I think I've got this one.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay.
So there was also sightings of these pigeons.
When did they get extinct?
The last wild bird was shot in the 1900s, but the last actual one was in
Cincinnati Zoo.
That's
Yeah.
the one. She died. She was called Martha. She died on September the 1st, 1914.
Okay, so 110 years, and none of these have been sighted, right?
However, I think
case. Here we go.
I think surely there's a couple about.
Based on what?
The fact it's a
vibes.
bird.
It's based on vibes, isn't it, John?
Although then I did see that.
I'm enjoying the vibes.
I don't know if I am.
Although, then, so I wrote all of this. I wrote a good amount here.
Why? Because you're not saying it.
I know.
What is
so
it?
I wrote all of this, and then I saw that they actually stayed in flocks of hundreds, and then I thought, well, that's my case gone. But I'm going to carry on with it anyway.
This is pure vibes again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I reckon
We're all about the vibes here. Well, this guy's not, but
I reckon surely
Yeah.
there's a couple floating about.
Why? Why is there?
Because it's a bird.
Hasn't been seen for 110 years.
Yeah, but how do you know? It could just look like the regular pigeon down the road.
The night parrot in Australia was thought to be extinct for decades, maybe even over 100 years, but they still kept finding dead animals like on the side of the road, caught up in barbed wire, and now there's thought to be like 100 to 200 of them alive today, but they were still found.
Okay.
You're talking about a bird that was 2 billion, 3 billion that went to zero, and that hasn't been seen.
There has also been sightings of passenger pigeons outside of its normal range, including in several western states, Bermuda, Cuba and Mexico, particularly in severe winters.
Right.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, John, what are you thinking about this? What are you thinking about this case being put forward to the passenger pigeon still being alive?
hey, do you know what? I like the vibe. I mean, you got really excited at this. You were like, "This is so good," and then you just started crapping on it. So, I don't know. The fact that you said that they're usually in quite big flocks suggests to me that it's probably not.
Yeah.
But also, I quite like the idea that there's just, the lone wolf still out there.
Yeah, because maybe one of them thought, you know what, I don't want to be in a big gang.
Yeah.
I want to be solo.
Where were they again? Where were they? Where were they from?
North America.
Right, they would be seen. They would just be seen, wouldn't they? It's not like the flipping outback of Australia where.
Yeah, but North America is still big.
Yeah, it's pretty large.
It is, but the people see stuff all the time out there. Like, there's loads of rare animals that people see.
They might just adapted to just not being in big flocks anymore. They might just want to be one or two on their own. And if you're just driving down the road, you see these 3 birds sitting on a tree, you're not going to look at them and think, oh my God, passenger pigeon. You're going to think, oh, it's just 3 little pigeons having a nice time.
Right. Okay, so passenger pigeon, John, extinct or alive?
I'm going to say extinct.
I think based off that as well, I think I'm saying extinct.
Yeah, but is the audience deciding this?
Yeah, okay, audience as well.
The audience should get in and tell us which one of the our 3 they think is the most likely to be alive.
Yeah, which one of our 3 is the most likely, but also who put up the best case.
Well,
John,
me.
John, your turn? Or shall I do mine? Shall I do mine or yours?
No, I'm going to do mine, because
Yeah,
yours is just the thylacine. Let's not kid ourselves, mate. Right.
Read me like a book.
Talking of lone wolves,
An actual lone wolf.
I'm going to go for the Japanese wolf.
Oh my God, I was going to do this one.
I
And then
like
I just
this one.
couldn't get on
Because of the bear thing. I was like, well, I've got to do the Japanese wolf now. So there's 2 types of wolf, or there were 2 types of wolf that have gone extinct. The Hokkaido wolves, which were made extinct by farmers who were trying to protect their livestock, so they used poison-laced bait. And then there's the Honshu wolves, which went extinct in 1905 due to their habitat being destructed, basically, and rabies and hunting. So there's 2 types of wolves. Now, Hokkaido is obviously interesting because that is where the bear problem with 150 bear attacks in 6 years were. So what does that tell you about the region? That there's so many bear attacks.
Lots of animals.
Lots of animals, but also mountains, baby.
Mountains, boy.
There's been loads of sightings since 1905 of wolves. And a lot of enthusiastic amateurs have joined the hunt, and a lot of people have claimed to have sighted the wolf. And they're very credible, the people that are claiming to do it, because they're mountaineers and people that are doing mountain watches. And if you think about the natural habitat of the mountains, they are going to be hard to find, but there ain't going to be just random stray dogs up there. So I would suggest that there is something to these sightings by credible people who know what they're talking about in an area which is known for wolves. So that is my case.
I do like this one. This is one I've explored before. What are you looking at? What are you
I was
laughing?
just thinking that was a lot better said than mine.
Yeah, of course it was. He actually put a case forward. Sightings, do you have any of those?
There's been loads of sightings. There was a whole article.
Any photos? Video?
There has been some photos and videos, but there's been no specimens captured. So it's tricky from that point of view. But that's the same for the bloody thylacine, and I promise you, it's the same for a passenger pigeon as well.
So I actually think on this there is a photo. I've got an image in my head of like there should be a photo of one. Rachel's got something on the screen here. Oh, okay, there we go. It's coming over. What is this? Is this supposed to be? This is one of the 19 photographs Yagi took of the wolf-like animal that confronted him in 1996. Does that look like a wolf or just
there was a big article in 2020 by BBC about the hunt for Japan's ghost wolves, and it got a lot of different people that had reported. That's the article. This is the article.
Yeah.
So there you go. But a lot of the people, when you read that article, also I just think really credible eye sightings. So I think it's. I think there's a very good chance of this one.
I actually really like this one as well.
There's not enough to keep bears away from the urban areas, but I think they're still there.
It's definitely. I think this is actually possible. This one.
And so in Italy they reintroduced wolves into the Alps, but they haven't properly packed yet as well. So, but they did this quite a long time ago. They've come across into like the French Alps as well, because I was once skiing there and there was a kill on the slopes that was from wolves. But it shows how long it takes for them to pack up as well. So if there's only a few out there, they would literally be lone wolves.
Literally lone wolves. Yeah, I actually really like this one. Rach, what do you think about it?
When were they extinct from, sorry?
So the Honshu ones were 1905 and the Hokkaido ones were like mid-19th century.
So it's a long time. It is a long time, isn't it? That's the same sort of...
Well, 100 years isn't that long, I don't think. Well, for most of these extinct animals. I don't know what you're going to go around about the bloody Thylacine, but...
I was actually going to say the passenger pigeon.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you were going to put the two together and say, from the extinction dates, which one is more likely, I would go with the pigeon. But
when did that go extinct?
1900. 1914.
1914.
So okay, but we're talking 9 years difference there.
Yeah.
Let's not get hung up here.
But like, if you gave me the option and didn't give me any evidence and stuff, I would obviously go with the pigeon.
Although I will say, you're more likely to spot that than a bird.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
and it has been spotted, and it's been photoed.
Well, this is this thing that's on the screen right now. That is what allegedly one of the wolves of Japan, right?
Yeah.
So it does just look like a bit of a husky.
Yeah, that's where it sort of falls down, I suppose, because it could. What if it is like a hybridized sort of wolf dog looking thing? You know, that's a problem, isn't it?
Mm.
But I do like that though, John.
Yeah, go on, tell us about the Thylacine.
So, Rach, that was good producing, by the way. Well done.
Top producing and top vibes.
Top vibes, yeah, totally agree.
Always.
So we've had the passenger pigeon, we've had John with the Japanese wolf, and now it's the Thylacine.
What?
Are you surprised?
What? I did not see that coming.
Is it still alive, John?
What? No, of course not.
Right.
No, I this one I do think that is an interesting one. But I also want to say that you're on the same team as some dodgy people, so, you know, crack on.
Is the Thylacine still alive? So the last one was seen in Tasmania in 1936.
In a zoo?
Yeah, last one in the zoo. The last one wild was like 31 or something like that, or 1930. Okay. They were low numbered because they had a bounty placed on their head, and they were low numbered anyway. People were still taking out these bounties and like murdering them, killing them off. But there are newspaper clippings which you can see from the Facebook group Save the Thylacine after 1936 that go up to the 50s and the 60s that do show like reports of thylacines being caught in snares or shot after the extinction date. But there are also two things in Tasmania, for example. The Hans Narding sighting in 1982, that's a government search. I fully believe they saw a thylacine at that period. They did a search for it and then couldn't find one, but they saw evidence. So that for me is interesting. Adamsfield, 1990s, we spoke about this on the podcast in the first season. Another one I find really interesting and I thoroughly believe in, which could also be evidence to show that they still made it into the 2000s. And if there was a case for me to push them out into like Tasmania, if they were still there, I would say in the southwest, in the very mountainous, remote region where not a lot of people go, not a lot of things are. I think that's a possible case. But the big one for me is Papua New Guinea, and I think this could be, whether or not it's more likely than Tasmania is a different question, but there are some interesting things by a renowned cryptozoologist known as Carl Schuker, who sort of like talks about this sort of stuff. And I find it really interesting. So their historical range is in Papua New Guinea and New Guinea, the east and west side. But I think something that adds credit to this is the New Guinea singing dog was sort of thought extinct and then rediscovered. So that's a dog wolf-like animal that was
bit like a wolf.
Bit like a wolf.
Bit like a wolf.
Yeah,
Dog-like animal. Carry on. Crack on.
But that was rediscovered in New Guinea. But they've also got a name for it, which is called the Dobsenia. Interesting name. Now, I spoke to Jordan Borsma, who led a search out to a remote island of Papua New Guinea to search for the black-naped pheasant pigeon. Did an interview with him. And I asked him about the Thylacine over in Papua New Guinea. I was like, have you heard anything? And he said, no. So I said, okay, they've got a name for it. It's called the Dobsenia. And he'd never heard that name, but he was that's when his ears sort of perked up and he was quite intrigued. And he said to me, if they've got a name for it, there must be something out there. And I was like, oh, okay, that's quite interesting. But to go on with that, there's lots of talk of like this striped animal with a massive mouth and a long straight tail in the Irian Jaya side of New Guinea. So obviously it's split west and east. That's the western side of New Guinea. It's not well documented. There's never been any sort of like official thing there. But I think, based on that, it could either still be in New Guinea or Tasmania. What do you think?
Do you know what? I think that there is a chance that it is still out there. I know that you've done a lot of work on this. I know that you've interviewed a lot of people. I know that's how you and Forrest first got in touch.
Mm-hmm.
But
I actually got in touch with Forrest because I slagged off Neil Waters and he loved it.
But I think I don't think it's more likely than the Japanese wolf. I think it's on par.
I think it's on par as well. Rich?
I think there's more chance of my passenger pigeon.
Right, okay. Good.
But the thing is, I would say is I think that there is a lot of people and pumping in a lot of resources to find this thylacine, and so far the evidence is weak.
Well, there's none.
Exactly.
Like unless
you saw a picture of a wolf a moment ago.
Yeah,
a picture of a wolf.
Yeah, for sure, a canine-looking animal, absolutely. But with the thylacine, there is nothing. And Adamsfield 1990s is the only sort of probably the most probable out of all of them things. But again, it can't be classed as proof.
So, what do you guys think? Do you think the Japanese wolf is most likely to be still the extinct? What did you call this? The extinct animal which is still alive? What did you say?
Yeah, something like that.
So, which extinct animal do you think is still alive? The passenger pigeon, the thylacine, or the Japanese wolf? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Like out of one of those three, which you think carries the most weight into still being alive today?
Yeah.
What could it be?
Oh, what vibe did you prefer?
Mine.
Well, Rachel's probably
every day. Mine.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, that's probably going to do it for this podcast. I think we're going to wrap it up there.
Shall we? Yeah. Shall we say goodbye?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. Next time we'll probably hear about my disaster at Nottingham Trent University.
And Cookie will be doing the podcast in a mankini if we get 20 reviews on Spotify.
I didn't agree to that. Thanks for joining us, though, Rach. Appreciate that.
Thank you for having me back again. Love my facts.
Yeah, it was pure vibes from Rach.
Absolute vibes. The vibes were unreal.
Yeah, thank you everyone for listening, watching. Make sure you rate us on Spotify. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, give us a thumbs up on the YouTube video. Smashed it. All right, everybody. Looking at that camera right there. Can we all see it? Just wave your arm. It's all good. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. See you in the next one.
Bye.
See you later.
Peace.